woodworkers, did you ever get a drawing from your wife with a little note that says, "I want this"? Because that's what I got. She wanted me to make a little thing for the papers for the kids for school, and she made me a nice little drawing because I always tell her to draw it. She leaves out a lot of the details, like how the corners are going to go together. The stuff that matters once you get into the shop, all that stuff's left out, so it's just a simple box drawing. So I took her dimensions and stuff, and I came up with an idea for how I was going to put this together and do the joints. And I came up with an idea just to put dowel pins in here. So I got a piece of cherry because that's her favorite. It's a 1/2 inch. I got it planed down and whatnot. The pieces that you need for this project are as follows. You need 2 pieces that are 6 3/4 by 13 1/2. These are going to be the sides. The back piece is 9 1/2 by 6 3/4. And then I got 2 pieces that are for shelves that are 9 1/2. Let's say 2 pieces that are 10 1/2 by 13 1/2. These are going to be my shelves. Okay, so to make the marks, I already have them on here because I wanted to make sure that I got them right, but I use this little accordion style thing, and this will give me exact spacing. So I just start at one corner. I want to have 5 dowels holding this together. So I stop at the last corner, hold that down, and then I'm just going to make a mark with my pencil where these points are. And I have a line that I scribed on here that's 1/4 inch, which is half of my 1/2 inch piece of wood, so the holes will be in the center. So I got these holes marked out. Now I got to do the ones for the back, and I want to have this back pin. I want to be my starting point, so I'm just going to line this up. Actually, I need to scrap that line. Where's the little... Alright, so I'm just going to set this up for 1/4 inch. So my first hole in the corner will be at that point. Punch these. Okay. Now we just tape these together so that they fit the same. You know, on a side note, I got this, tan masking tape instead of the blue painter's tape the other day to see if there was any difference. I don't like it. It's cheaper. It's not as strong, so I'm going to stick with the blue in the future. Okay, so over at the drill press I got a 3/16 bit in here because I'm using a 3/16 dowel, so we're just going to drill these holes out quick. Okay, I just went back and I made another line down the center, and I put 4 holes that are exactly half offset, so it kind of makes a triangle. And that's going to be to secure the center shelf in. Okay, we got all the holes cut on the sides, and now we need to make the matching holes for the back. So to do that, I'm just going to put some clamps in here and clamp this whole thing together. Alright, so I put a piece of tape on here so I know how deep to go. I went 1 1/8 inches. I probably only need 1 inch, but Okay, so on the router I have a 1/2 inch upcut bit, and I am putting that is going to be 1/4 of an inch high, so it'll go halfway up into my piece of wood, and I'm going to route out a dado that lines up with the holes that I put in there for the center shelf. So we're going to do that on both sides, and I'm going to have to stop it at the end. Alright, I got this little piece of thin cardboard, and I'm using that as kind of a shim so that my bottom panel doesn't touch the table when this gets put down. I want the sides on the table, and that'll keep it from rocking and moving around. So I'm just going to line this up and then get some clamps on it to hold it all in place. And I'm going to use the piece from the back in the center just to hold these sides from caving in. Alright, I clamped this up. I have my holes drilled in the sides already, but I had to clamp the bottom piece in so that I could get the holes lined up to drill the holes into the bottom piece. Alright, I got the fancy masking tape stop on my drill, so we're just going to drill these holes in to the bottom panel. Okay, so now, like you can see, I have a little bit of a reveal here, so that this part will be what touches the table that this sits on, not the whole bottom, because if the whole bottom sits, then it has more of a tendency to teeter. So that's why I gave it a little lip. Alright, so now I'm going to cut a whole bunch of 1.5-inch pieces of dowel so that I can put all these in with some glue and sturdy it all up. So I got the shelf cut out. Make it to the dimensions of yours, plus don't forget to add in what you took out for your dado. And the curve on the front here, I just used the tape. I marked up, you know, a couple inches and then centered it and traced it. It's very complicated. So now this will fit in my dado groove here perfectly, and I lined up these and drilled those holes out while I had the shelf in. So before I secure the shelf in, I'm just going to spray the inside, and then I'll do the shelf and I'll spray the rest of it in the outside, and I'll clean up the dowels that I have to put in the sides. Hey, this is something neat that I do. This is the bottom from one of these glue bottles, and I use it as a glue tray. So I'm just going to put a little glue in here. And then I'm going to take my dowels, put glue on the ends, and just slide them in here. Scene.
Cut.
Yeah. Alright, so I screwed up. I cut the dado on the wrong side on the other piece. So all I had left from this board was this piece of wood. So I cut out the 2 strips from here that were still good, which are these 2. And I lined up the grains as best I could. And now I'm going to glue these together so that I can make a new one of these panels and continue the project with the same wood. If I screw this one up, I'm done. I have no more of this whole board that I used. So I'm just going to give this a quick glue up, let it sit, and then remake the whole thing. So to be optimistic, mistakes are opportunities to improve your craftsmanship. Look at it that way. You won't be so sad when you screw up. So stupid, I'm such a loser! Can't do anything right!